I'm Pauline.
Hey, I'm Priscilla.
I'm Pal.
And I'm Tamirun.
And this is the P3T podcast. Okay, so welcome back to our podcast. And today we have a new episode for us. So yeah, our topic is media and music, which is najua kwa kanisa yenu, kwa kanisa zenu mumeongea sana. In youth church, in teens church, hata in children's church mumeongea sana kuhusu hizi vitu, and we are here to talk about it again, but with a different perspective, hopefully. Yeah. So to just start us off, we know that in the world we are not of the world, but we are in the world. You know? So obviously there's different types of entertainment out there. And so do you feel, as you're watching all of this content, listening, as you're consuming all of this media, sorry Pauline, as you're consuming all of this media, do you feel like it's hard for you to find clean entertainment out there? Pauline?
Kind of yes and no. So I personally, I don't watch a lot. I won't lie. I don't know if it's because I don't enjoy watching. Here's the thing, I'm a binge watcher. I can't watch episode by episode. I need to watch it all at once. So I guess I like watching everything, and then I don't have anything to watch. That's kind of part of the reason. But also something that has recently started happening in my life is sometimes I just can't stomach it. You know, like it's either it's gonna be like super violent, super gory. I'm lying. Violence doesn't bother me that much. But like it's sometimes it's like hyper sexual, or the entire premise of the show is like how much they hate religion or God. So it's kind of like sometimes my spirit is just like not for you. No. So then so I guess all of those factors combined has made me not a frequent watcher. So very rarely do I watch anything.
So you find it hard, Ama?
I don't look. So I can't say if I find it hard to find because I don't look.
Does that apply to music?
Oh no,
books? Are you a reader? Are you...
Yeah. I'm okay. Books. I read older books because older books they are a bit easier to ingest. The modern, especially modern romance books.
Friend, my friend.
Yeah, so I read a lot of older books, but I also just don't read a lot of romance. So I read a lot of like detective fiction type things, mystery. Yeah, that's kind of the genre I lean more towards. Or children books. I read so many children books. I'm embarrassed to say how many I read, but I read quite a number.
Music?
Music, no, I mostly listen to anything. Okay. But again, like sometimes I have to filter, or like sometimes my spirit will just be like, no. That's not for you, sis. It's not for you. Yeah.
It's Tamirun.
I think you have to be incredibly intentional for you not... okay. I just have to ask the question.
Do you feel like it's hard for you to find clean entertainment?
Oh, yeah.
There?
Actually it is, because think about it. When you first open a TikTok account or an Instagram account and you're scrolling through reels, a lot of what will pop up is not exactly the cleanest.
It takes a while for the algorithm to
filter. Yeah. And honestly, it's very much dependent on you and what you are tolerating. So it takes time for you to actually like sift through what you don't want and clean up your algorithm kind of.
Speaking about algorithms, YouTube algorithm, it's not good. It's not good.
What? Are you serious?
The one for the shorts. The one for your recommended page is great. But the one for the shorts is pathetic.
I have your opposite problem. My
Really?
recommendations are crap. My shorts is good.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
That's interesting. So yeah, I think it just takes a lot of intentionality. And then even just look at the songs used for TikTok trends, and they get stuck in our heads. There's no taking them away. So yeah, I when Pauline was talking about music, it reminded me of this TikToker who does these POVs of a Christian listening to secular music. So they're, oh, you're drumming. Then they say, but God lives in the skies. And you're like, no. Or they're jamming. But, and then they say, but the devil is the Lord. And you're like, that's not true.
No,
that's
sir.
not okay, sir.
It actually, to some extent, it like it. Someone was telling me sometimes them they feel like they feel it in their bones. They're just like, oh, I need to not listen to this song anymore.
Again. Yeah.
I think for me, basically, it's more difficult to find clean content comparing to when I was young. Like when I was young, you know, like, I don't know, maybe it's because we're kids, but
So our content was already being filtered.
yeah, it was already being filtered. Like, we were kids, you're watching Ben 10. Okay, there were controversies also with that.
No, but it was not like you could argue Ben 10 and Dexter and
exactly. It wasn't like now where like every single movie has to have a sex scene, or every single thing has to have something that depicts sex in a okay way, especially like in terms of fornication or any other activity, and or sexualizing something in one way or the other. And also in terms of music, again, yes, like a lot of the songs, rather, okay, not a lot, but secular songs, the like hit songs are leaning towards maybe rap, maybe romance songs, and sometimes with like there's clean rap, yes, especially like with the gospel.
and it's good.
And
Listen
it's
to
good.
Andy Mineo.
Yeah, there's clean rap, there's good music out there, but the ones that are really being pushed out there, like the ones that are being popular,
Elevated,
are not so clean, and it promotes a whole perversion. A whole perversion.
Now, I have a question about that. So do you guys think the media do you guys think the media promotes the perversion, or the media is as a result of the perversion?
The media promotes. The media definitely promotes, because when like Kitambo, Victorian era, these things are not being promoted by what was their media then. So like public opinion, I guess. Yeah, even like newspapers. But
Victorian era.
yeah, I know. Okay, let me not say Victorian era. Kitambo.
Could people even read in Victorian era?
Okay. Sasa tuseme Victorian.
Yeah, let's not give
Victorian
our last lacking information on history will be exposed.
Let me say like Kitambo, when digital media was not popularized as much, when there wasn't like constant fast communication, pre social media, but even then a bit more pre social media, let me say that. Public opinion was largely religious, and because public opinion was largely religious, and that's what was being pushed out. Like even when philosophers now Kitambo in the past were talking about where the earth is round and not flat, because they were being shut down because the Bible says you'll go to all corners of the earth.
So to your question, I think it's a both circumstance. So repeat the first part of the question. Is media...
Does media, because we're talking about perversion, there's a lot of perversion in the media. So is this is it the media promoting the perversion, or is the perversion in the media as a result of perversion in the society?
There's perversion in the society, because media, I think it's even more in the second part of the latter, because who controls the media? The society. It's the people. Meaning, there's a lot of perversion going on in our hearts, in our minds, for us to even be openly or publicly showcasing that kind of perversion out to the media. And now the thing is, in this kind of society where media has become a huge thing, definitely it's now being used as a tool, especially with the internet globalization, to now promote that perversion. So I think it's like the latter promoting the former.
What promoting what?
Society promoting perversion, and that perversion is being channeled through the media, and the media is now promoting that perversion.
Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So it's like a cycle.
Yeah, it's like a cycle.
Okay.
It's cyclic, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I think it's both.
Disclaimer. Sorry for the background noise. Yeah.
I think it's both because when you look at especially the media today, the media today is like every media outlet is fighting for space and people's attention and people's clicks. Scroll Twitter and scroll Instagram, how fast are you scrolling? And so to get you to stop and look and stare and care, then the media might be more incentivized to do crazier and crazier things as a result of the society structured today, and also what people are into today, and people are more into more erotic things today. However,
So then it's okay.
However, if you look at things like, you guys remember people cooking their chicken in medicine?
What?
Yeah.
NyQuil
Yeah.
chicken. People in the West, people in
I
America,
put chicken in cough syrup.
in cough syrup.
But it started as a joke. But they always do.
It started as a joke, and it was a legitimate joke on the internet. Like, nobody was doing this thing seriously. The people who made it a serious issue was the media. The media is the one that was like, look, people are cooking their chicken in medicine. How dumb. But like, it was commentary on how white people don't season their food. So you might as well season it with
Medicine, yeah.
So the media now knows, the media has power, and they know the power that they have. And so sometimes to now create those cliques, they create now they promote sexuality and whatever to make sure that they have those cliques. So does society promote them needing to have like the biggest, brightest headlines and most erotic things? Yes. But do they also know they have the power to not do these things as well, but still choose to do them also? Yes. So I think it's
Because they know it brings in the views.
exactly. So it's not just one party who's to blame. In my opinion, both parties are at fault.
So I think then your argument and Priscilla's then come together of talking about it being
The
cyclic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your question, Pauline. I think I'll close off the question for, do you feel like it's hard to find teen entertainment out there? I think it depends on the type of entertainment we're talking about. When I look at movies and TV shows, yeah, for sure, because like with rom-coms, the cleanest rom-coms are Hallmark movies. And Hallmark movies are not necessarily the most
boring.
entertaining ones. You
Yeah,
know,
boring.
they have the same plot, the same thing, the same
They're
shit.
white people soaps.
Yeah.
This is the one you're saying it has the kiss at 50.
Yeah, they kiss at a specific time. The conflict happens at a specific time. You know, it's very predictable. We don't see much of new things. And then with Christian like film content, there's not much funding that goes into Christian.
We were talking
content.
about this with Pauline
Literally yesterday.
Yesterday.
That's the story of funding. Yes, that one I agree. But I also think a large part is sometimes certain Christian creators, especially if they're creating like a movie about Jesus or something like that, they think the story will sell itself, so they don't put effort. You know, so they just want they want Christians to watch it just for the sake that it's a show about Jesus, so they don't put any effort in it. And end of statement.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And we have this thing, even especially like in Kenya. I think in the West now, in Asia, a little bit, not that much, but like in the environments that I've been in, anything that you do, even if it's mediocre, will be given so much praise. Nobody's going to critique it. Nobody's going to tell you, I see that you've tried, but this is really not good. You know, you need to improve. People are just like, oh, but you've tried. Oh, but you've done your best.
In
And
Kenya, support Kenya.
yeah, and I see that like we need to be supportive of each other as Christians, but also we need to be critical of each other's work. If we're going to put our foot forward, we put our best foot forward. You know.
I think we were talking about this with Paul.
Continue.
Are you done?
I'm fine.
Are you done?
I'm not done, but you can continue because I'm going to pivot to something else.
We were talking about this with Pauline yesterday. And so you guys know The Chosen.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. Pauline really wished we could watch it, but I guess we can't. But anyway, so we're talking about the show and how the director or something felt the Lord telling them to create a good show about God. Because I think God was just tired of the mediocrity. God was tired of this boring movies being thrown around in his name.
Every
that
time
don't
the
even
Passion of Christ.
represent-
Passion of Christ
It's a good movie, but it's not entertaining. Not
Passion of Christ.
Passion of Christ.
Yeah.
It's on the higher end compared to other Christian films.
Yeah.
Where other Christian films,
Guy.
first of all, Jesus Forever has a British accent. And we don't know why. We can't understand it.
The camera quality, nonsense. The sound,
There's no cinematography. The writing is horrendous.
There's no effort, like at all.
So The Chosen?
Anyway, so so it was basically like the director was called to give something of no, it's not you, it's my mind not working. Like, you know, they were called to quality and good quality because even God could see there was a lot of mediocrity and there was a lot of disgustingness in film, especially connected to him.
Yeah. So so I'd say like we don't have the best type of content out there, and then also a lot of Christian content, like you see, like what we're doing as P3T, like not everything is necessarily like a sermon. A lot of Christian content out there is like sermon. You know, not everything has to be like that. It can just be like you living about your daily life, but it's still evident that you're Christian. You don't have to talk the talk, you're walking the talk. So in terms of like movies, series, I find it a bit difficult to find stuff. So I take a long time before I watch stuff. Like I'll finish a show and I'll wait for like months on end before I start another one, you know. So for movies, music, I don't read a lot of books, I don't know. Music,
Books. They're good authors like Kina Francine Rivers. Apparently they have good books. Just summer, but apparently they're really nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not a book reader.
Same.
I'm not a big book
Didn't
reader,
know.
so I'm not going to comment on that. But now on music, I don't think it's hard to find good, clean music out there. Sorry, tell me.
Even content on social media.
Oh yeah,
That's difficult.
definitely not hard to find.
It becomes so much easier, especially like with Spotify. My gosh, one search and you find a whole playlist. I think Kitambo it was so difficult. Like, see, the episode I've talked about, like the certain people will be promoted by the media. Yes, I agree. Like people will be promoted by the media, scatter. But I don't think we have to pay attention to the media. There's options now. Before there wasn't options. You had to listen to the radio. And you have to listen to all the music on the radio, repeated 500 million times, and then maybe once you hear a new song, you know. But these days, like underground artists, different people are promoting like good music out there, and I just think it's a beautiful sight to see. And the music that's being produced, the clean, good Christian music that's being produced, is of good quality.
Yes,
it's amazing. Once again, the other day I was listening to Andy Minio's Neverland 2 album. It's perfection. All you Swifties, go listen to him.
Okay, I thought you said he's a rapper.
He's a rapper, but you see the Swifties are talking about Taylor Swift is such a
Lyricism.
Nini. Andy Minio is a lyricist. Ask Priscilla. Yes. He is a lyricist.
He is.
Yeah, anyway.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Who?
Andy Minio. Mineo. He spelled
I know
Mineo.
him. I can see his name like on a YouTube video, but I can't remember what song I was listening to.
Have you listened to Coming in Hot by Lake?
Yes, but that's not the song.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's another one of his I know. I can't remember it, but it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so now that I'm talking about music, we can pivot to our second question. As a Christian, do you think that we should exclusively listen to Christian music? Colleen.
Honestly, I go through seasons of yes and no. Sometimes I genuinely feel like there is no problem listening to secular music as long as you pay attention to content. And this is true of even gospel music. Like, don't listen to a song just because it's gospel. Pay attention to content.
My goodness, that's
Because, like, especially sometimes with these sometimes these like super famous, super big gospel songs that everybody they're sung on every worship set, like everybody knows them. It's like sometimes the lyrics aren't the most biblical, or like biblically sound, and a lot of them have things that would be I don't know,
Questioning.
would be questionable. So pay attention to the content. For me is more important than paying attention to the title, or like, is it gospel, is it not gospel. But also, I don't think listening to a song that's not gospel but promotes love and these beautiful things, I don't think that's inherently wrong. But know thyself. For some people that's a stumble block, for some people it's not, so know thyself. Sit down with God and ask him if secular music is hindering your relationship with him, then take it out. But if it's not, it's one of those things where it's personal conviction. That's my opinion on music.
Priscilla?
I think, well, let me talk for myself, yeah? For me, I personally do not listen to Christian music exclusively. Again, it ties in with what Pauline said. It mainly depends on the content you're listening to. So, content, it really depends on the content. For most people who know me very well, I'm this type of girl who likes classic songs. So like 70s, even sometimes 40s and 60s, but like 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s kind of songs. So
is early 2000s still considered classic?
Kind of at this point.
Yeah, if they play on Classic 105, I think it's a classic song. Or if it's on Smooth FM. So, basically, those kind of songs. And in my honest opinion, which can be debunked if anyone wants to debunk it, most songs in that time were not as sexualized or perverted as today's songs. Yes!
At least not as openly.
Not as openly.
Yeah.
And they weren't, and not like a majority of them weren't like that. If it's about love, it's pure love. Like, I'd start singing, but a Christian podcast, but yeah.
Oh, I know what you're thinking about. Oh, we can't sing. Okay, yeah, we won't.
Yeah, like there are certain like lyrical songs, for instance, that hit the soul, They like, it's like a poetry. Yeah, it speaks to the heart.
Which essentially is what music is.
Yeah, music is poetry. There's a kind of art and weight that it used to carry. Than, in my honest opinion, it varies with people, but for me, that's what speaks to me. Also with Christian songs, again, with Tamiron or Pauline, who said about, I think it's Pauline, who mentioned about like also, even in Christian music, knowing the kind of content you're listening to. That's very key, to be honest. So I vary. I have my classic genre. I have my Christian genre. It varies. I don't think a Christian should it depends on you and what your walk of faith is, and what you and the Lord have agreed on. But for me, that's me. Yeah.
That's me.
I was about to. Anyway,
Coming on.
yeah. I think. Okay. Question.
As a Christian, do you think we should exclusively listen to Christian music?
Okay. I don't know, man. You know, when I was a kid, I was told, when I was younger, I was told that music is spiritual, is a spiritual form of art. So much so that as much as we live everything on earth, like all our bodies and everything, when we go to heaven, the one thing that will remain is music.
Wow.
So I was being told that like music is spiritual, and in this earth you can only align yourself to two kinds of spirits: spirits of evil and darkness, and the spirits of God's spirit, actually. So ever since I had that, like as much as I want to shake off that line of thought and that opinion, it's still,
It makes sense.
it makes so much sense. Like I can't completely ignore it. So I get where you two come from, because that's genuinely, like, honestly, I'd be super hypocritical if I say that may I purely listen to gospel music, the Lord delivered me. That's a lie. Gospel music. That's a lie. I'd be lying. So I think for me, I've just been trying to find alternatives. And I think I mentioned this in a couple of episodes back. I've been trying to find alternatives to the secular music I listen to, so that I can completely win it off and still feel like I'm getting musically fed. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's something else I was going to say. Anyway, I can't remember, so that will be it for now.
Oh, I remembered something. Sorry. There's a lyrical song. It's a song actually. I'll just say the lyrics. Your love is like a river, peaceful and deep. Your soul is like a secret that I never could keep. When I look into your eyes, I know that it's true. God must have spent a little more time on you.
But
I know that
biblically sound.
It's not a biblical song.
I know, but it's not biblically sound.
Yeah, but like it's a poet. Like it's a poem.
It's poetry.
Yeah, there's poetry. That's why I look at music like an art.
Music is an art.
Exactly. It's
So that for that specific example you've given, do you feel like there's a danger that comes with people producing lyrics that are not biblically sound? Because that's where all of these stories about soulmates, that's where they all come from. The idea of a soulmate is nice, eh? The idea that God has created one specific person for you, it's nice, but it's very unbiblical. You know, the idea that God is out here making people for other people is very unbiblical. You know, and the idea that there's another person other than God who can fulfill you is very, very unbiblical. You know, so do you feel like when people do that, it creates more damage than good?
yes and no. I feel like also songs were created for different occasions. So obviously I can't believe, okay, personally, in my opinion, I feel like, okay, let's give an example, like when you're married, right? Or yeah, when you're married, because we believe sex should be for marriage. When you're getting cozy with your guy, will you put on a heel?
No, this is the problem. They're very romantic gospel songs.
Thank you.
There are so many, and they're so beautiful. And you know why they're romantic and they're gospel? Because it's love between man and wife, but it glorifies God. It's not love that is above God. You know, like there's this song called there's this group, you know that song that circulated on TikTok a while back. Then people started doing the whole soldier poet king test. So people are like, I'm a soldier, I'm a poet, I'm a king. Okay, there will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword. Have you guys heard that song?
No.
Okay, so a while back, that song really trended on TikTok, especially amongst like fantastical, like people who enjoy fantasy, Lord of the Rings type of vibe. It really trended amongst them. And you know that song it's not a gospel song, because the group who sing it aren't particular. They're like Lauren Daigle. They sing about God, but they don't want to be called gospel artist.
Hey,
or at least
she doesn't want to be called a Christian artist.
Oh, my bad. I thought you guys were the ones who told me that.
No, that's like Ray.
Oh. Then I think I'm mixing up my artists.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so they sing. I don't even think they still produce super gospel songs, but they have certain songs that are very biblically sound, and one of them is called Like the Dawn, and I don't know a more romantic song than that song. It's so beautiful, and it's circulated around the creation of Adam and Eve, you know, so it's very biblically sound, but it's so romantic, you know, like that's why I think I was about to say Karen, forgive me. Paul was saying it's not hard to find Christian music. Because in your mind, when you say Christian music, I'm not talking about Hillsong. When I'm getting cozy with my man, we're not playing Hillsong. Please get Hillsong out, you know? Yeah. But there's gospel romantic. Yes, there's a gospel alternative to those romantic songs you want to play. You know them. You know the romantic songs you want to play, but there are gospel alternatives. Please listen to that song, Like the Dawn. It's such a romantic song.
Can I? This is what I was going to say has been nimekumbuka juu Pauline ameisema. Pauline was talking about songs being gospel but not being biblically sound. During my journey of trying to find gospel music that I actually like, I've come across so many of those songs and I've had to like cancel the artist, but in my mind though, and be like, you're not my cup of tea. And like throughout that period, there's one artist who stood out for me. Honestly, I can't say his name because
Say off record.
No, I can't say his name, but I can't say his name because I don't know how to say his name. It's like a bunch of letters.
You meant like you physically can't
say that name.
How's it spelled?
It's okay, I listened to him quite a bit. I think he should be here. 2 seconds.
She's scrolling through her Spotify.
I'm scrolling through my Spotify.
For the listeners.
It's him. This is his name. IMRSQD.
Oh, I know who that is.
I am rescued. I'm rescued. What? Nisha. Yeah, anyway, he has really good music. And like, even in his collaborations, when the rest of the artists are not really singing about God, like his verse of the song will be very godly and will always bring glory back to God. So that's one thing I really like about his music, and it's so my vibe. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, but I promise. One thing I wanted to say was... Sorry. One thing I wanted to say was, for me personally, I like to listen to music that speaks to my soul. So for example, who's this guy that... I've forgotten his name, but he sang a song called In the Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Benson Boone.
Boom.
Yeah. That song, when I first heard it, you guys, I listened to it. I was like, wow. But there's a lyric in his song that says, like, I'm screaming at a God that I don't know that I believe in. So lyric could come on, and I'd just, like, I'd then I'd continue. Like, I'd chill, then I'd continue with the rest of the lyrics.
You remember that POV guy was telling you about who reviews music, but from a Christian perspective? He did that song.
So for me, like that song touched my heart because I didn't even know what it was about. I thought it was about like people like losing like someone.
What is it about?
It's about loss, like death.
Yeah,
loss, yeah. So it's about death and grief, and like everybody can relate to death,
Death
and
and
grief.
grief,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but then I realized that song, it speaks to a lot of people, and it speaks to my soul for sure.
Yeah.
But is this what I want to be speaking to my soul? You understand? So for me, it's like I had to. It's a great song. It's a great song when Tambun, you're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. But like, I personally can't listen to his music because that's not what I want to speak to my soul. So Arakina, what's his name? Bruno Mars, all of these people who are producing genuinely quality content, are they doing a great job and are they killing it?
Yes.
But these
Power
are
to
songs
them.
but that are speaking to my soul, and I don't want these songs to speak to my soul. So I listen to songs where like I don't feel like guilty, I want to catch myself in a lyric, like I can genuinely lift my hands, praise God, or like even if I'm just talking and it's a bop, bado inaniongelesha tu, but I want it to speak to my soul in a way that even God will look at me and be like, look at my servant, So not all songs are bad, but
Yeah.
like songs that, if you're a person like me who wants to listen to songs that speak to their soul, then pick songs that will speak to your soul in a way that God will be proud of you.
Can I just say that lyric of praying to a God that I don't believe in? That's like the lyric that all indie artists use to like elevate their songs into a depth level. I feel like when they add that lyric, they feel like they're so deep. And they feel like, hey, me and depth, same what's up, So yeah, that's just what some, because I know, like, because I listen to quite a bit of indie music, and I can, off the top of my head, I can list like 3 songs that have that lyric.
That's why I say, okay, in my honest opinion.
Oh, we're not fighting.
Yeah, we're
by
not
the
fighting
way.
it, I know.
Yeah.
But like in my honest opinion, I like to look at music as art. I don't like looking at it in like
Spiritual.
yeah, I don't, okay, it can be spiritual, but then like let me use that example for In the Stars, like that part for praying to a God that I do not believe in. When someone is in grief and loss, the thing that comes to their mind is, God, why did you take this person from me? So it's so easy for someone to blame God to taking the person that they dearly loved, and they're gone from their life. So I feel like even that lyric, it's, yes, we don't like associate us like Christian, like with your Christian belief. It's a little bit like, I believe in my God. But then in that space of grief and loss, that's like the last thing that comes to your head.
I know it's the last thing that
Yeah,
comes to your
but
head.
that's what I'm saying. It's like a way of expression, of emotion,
It
of
is.
feel, of it's an art. It's like poetry.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Last week or last week, but when was the event? Last week.
Last week, yeah.
The week before. No, last week.
It was
actually.
last week, yeah.
Last week and last week, but I was having one of the roughest times in my life. At a square mini, I didn't believe. And I remember specifically playing Jonathan McReynolds' song, God is Good. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Never mind.
and it's like, may your troubles keep you near the cross, may your bad days prove that you need God, may your whatever, you guys know the lyrics.
Battles and
may
the
your
way
battles
they
end the way they should, and may your whole life prove that God is good. And I listened to that song specifically at that time. Did I want to listen to that song? No, because I'm trying to do something for God and His people, and I'm like having the worst time of my life, But I was like, even listening to, I was telling you, like having the worst time of like the entire year that I've had. And listening to that song was so hard. Like, that man who wrote it is well. I don't know how he wrote it in that stage. But listening to that song, like, if I listened to In the Stars in that moment, or I mean, like, yeah, I should be screaming at God, But listening to Nini, God is Good instead was like, this is so hard. I don't want to listen to this song. Like, Jonathan McReynolds anasema nini? May your bad days, may your troubles keep you near the cross. I'm not near the cross right now. I'm sure the last 3 weeks ago. But listening to that song was like, okay, Karen, relax. Like, it's hard, but God is good. It's difficult, but God is good. And it's difficult. I did not listen to it, but I don't even, something in my spirit just kept telling me, just listen to God is good. You don't want to hear it. It's a lesson you have to hear. But I kept playing it, and it reminded me that even in my spirit, I was like, even if I'm not doing anything else, I'm not praying to God as much, I'm not doing any of these things, even that 2-second prayer of, God, now it's in your hands. God is good. He will come through.
Okay, I agree. I'm not saying like it's wrong to like listen to something that cannot be uplifting, but then at the same time it's also not wrong to wallow in your pain.
It's not wrong to acknowledge your pain.
Yes, it's not wrong to acknowledge your pain, but it's also like
Even to wallow, it's not bad.
because it's a stage. Again, like the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, then acceptance. It's like a whole
Cycle.
yeah, you're human. You're allowed to feel feelings of emotion. You're allowed to express it in a way that you feel it'll help you in one way or the other. That's why I'm thinking, in my opinion, that music is a form of expression, be it on whatever stage you are in, be it in denial, be it in anger, now in this case of grief or loss, be it in denial, be it in acceptance, now acceptance, I think now that's when you're like, okay, yeah, let me trust God. I give it to him. But then before that, before you reach there, you have to have gone through some thought process of, wow, okay, I'm depressed. Wow, okay, I'm angry. You have to feel those emotions. But then, like, that's why I think, again, music, it comes down to the content you're listening to. For me personally, again, I think I even mentioned this in a previous episode where I was talking about how I listened to Sia, the song Unbreakable. Yeah, like Unstoppable. Thank you so much. Like the words hit me hard. Like I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. I win every single game. Like that is, for me, even though it's not a gospel song, the words just uplift me. Again, what speaks to you? Yes, it can be the word of God, yes, which should be as a Christian, but then at the same time, God uses any vessel he pleases. He literally, God uses any vessel he pleases. He can use a whole, like literally, even if you're not, again, it's like if, I don't know, this is my opinion. I don't think God is bad in using just Christian musicians.
This band
Is bad. Like there's no limit. Like I don't think God just uses Christian musicians. I think he can use any musician to speak to you as long as the message is put across.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay. So
let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
If we continue this conversation, it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from.
We can
I think I also see what you're saying.
we can reserve another episode for apologetics for music. Okay. For arguing music.
Yeah, I will fight that one. That one we can fight a proper one.
Okay, yeah, that one. I think we can reserve an episode for that. But anyway,
We should start like a whole series. Apologetics.
yeah.
Episode 1.
You know,
Music.
but we don't do apologetic.
No.
That's not apologetic.
Apologetics
Apologetics are the people who do like proofs for God. They're the people who logically explain. Because, you know, okay, me personally, I can't logically explain why I believe in God. I believe in God, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But it's because of the things he's done for me in my life. You know, it's because of the ways I have seen him reveal himself to me.
That's logical.
Yeah, that's logical, but it's logical for you. It's not logical for an entire, like it's not, if you were to have a conversation with an atheist, there's nothing stopping them from saying, okay, but that's just your experience, you know? So apologetics now, they take the hyperlogical route. Let's talk quantum mechanics, let's talk evolution, let's talk how we are seeing God in this physical things and scientific things where we are constantly being told there is no God there.
Okay, so let's start a series called Debates.
Oh, okay, yeah. I much prefer that.
So I think, anyway, so my opinion is I think my opinion has come a very, very long way. It's evolved a lot over the years. If you asked me a few years ago, I'll tell you, hard and fast, yes. I think Christians should exclusively listen to Christian music. But now I think like there's some gray area-ness in some situations. However, a lot of people on the podcast know that I try to exclusively listen to Christian music. So, Karen, you talked about like you like to listen to music that speaks to your soul, yeah? Me, I like bops. All the way. I really do like bops. And a lot of bops in society have like hidden nuances, or even like outright nuances of, like I don't like God, like things that are unbiblical. Even it doesn't have to hate God or go against God himself, but they go against the teachings that God gives us. I have found such good quality music in the Christian music sector that are like straight bops, that are such kwanza Afro gospel. Hey, fire!
Afro gospel is good.
It's great. It's better than the secular music.
For real,
Yeah.
100%. Kina, what's this guy's name?
Limo Blaze.
Limo Blaze.
Yeah.
Tell her
Like the
the
face of gospel.
But before it used
African
to be
beats.
called out music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call Out Music was also really good.
He was good, but
He's still continuing.
he's still good, but he plays more to the like worshipy side
Yeah,
of
his
Afro
songs
gospel.
quickly become worship.
Yeah.
They sound like songs you'd sing in a praise and worship set.
Exactly. So that, I mean, I was looking for that, but I think it's so beneficial to listen to Christian music as much as you can, because like the songs that I'm bopping to, I'm not going to always hear what they're saying. Me, I'm there for the vibes, But the days like I'm just sitting down and looking at those lyrics, I'm like, wow, this person has said something, And I've spent so much time like researching different parts of Christian music. First of all, Christian music has so many facets. Christian music is not, first of all, Christian
not a
music
genre.
is not a genre.
It's not a genre, yes.
There's two types of music. There's Christian music and there's secular/mainstream music. Yeah. Christian music has everything. So gospel is more of like
rap.
black choir. That's what I define it as.
Yeah.
It has
In fact, you find a lot of secular artists have gospel versions of
Exactly.
songs, but they've not changed the lyrics. They've just changed the arrangement.
the style.
And the style, yes.
Yeah. So you have gospel, you have contemporary, you have Afro, you have rap, you have worship, you have indie.
R&B.
Yeah, you have everything. Everything is there. It's just up to you to decide, yeah? And I feel like every message out there, especially today in a modern society, has been spoken about in Christian music. So like Priscilla, you talked about like in times of grief, care and listen to God is good. There's a song by, I think his name is Mika Taylor. It's called Even If. He wrote this song when I don't know if he lost his grandmother. I don't know who he lost. He lost somebody in his family and he wrote that song. And that song talks about the way like, you're down bad. And God is not doing things, but it says, even if you don't like do this for me, my hope is you alone.
That's my about in WhatsApp.
There's also this rapper who was going through a season of loss and grief after they lost their mom. And they wrote a whole album talking about how like that affected them and his relationships with his wife. But at the end of it all, his reunion with God is what fixed all these other relationships after the loss. And it helped him like deal with the grief.
And this is just to tie back to how Priscilla was saying, like songs she would play in the bedroom when her husband is getting cozy, when her and her husband are getting cozy. Remember, the Christian thought is not that sex is inherently wrong. That's not the Christian mind. The Christian mind is sex is ordained for husband and wife. That's the Christian mind. So you can find Christian songs talking about sex in its ordained form, not sex in the way society has perverted it to be. Sex in its ordained form, and they're very romantic. Those are not songs you can play in church. I promise you, those are not songs that
The
you
same
can
way we
play
don't
in
read
church.
songs of Solomon in church.
Exactly. But they're there and they're great. I don't know too many because I'm single, but they're great.
I think, you see, what I'm talking about Neverland 2 by Andy Mineo, it talks about everything. It's that song, that album it's not necessarily like, Lord, I worship you, I give you my heart. It's like there's this one song where he's talking about like people are sending him nudes on social media, and he's like, and I showed my wife those, and I'd take hers if I had to choose. And
Wow.
And these guys are Christian artists. You get? I'm talking about like real problems. There's this other one where he's talking about I forgot how the song goes, but it's basically talking about how like the wife is saying he's not good at communicating, and he's not good at listening, and then. When he's saying I'm not good at listening, he's asking, but they will listen, listen. You know, there's so many Christian songs out there, especially modern Christian songs that cover all these topics we're talking about in secular music. In this day, if you told me this in the 90s that I listened to secular music
You
because
weren't
of ABCD,
born in the 90s.
I agree. I agree with those people. So,
But you said if you told me this is the 90s,
sorry.
but you weren't born in the
Okay,
90s.
if you were in the 90s and we were talking about these
Okay,
things, then I would be like, okay, cool, I agree with you. In this day and age, I don't see where anybody would have an excuse not to try and listen to Christian music.
I think though Priscilla has a point.
Oh, she
In
does.
this sense,
Many.
that know the context of why you're listening to that music. You get, so like for me who listen to music primarily to nourish her soul, I will not gravitate towards secular music that will nourish my soul in a way that I don't want it nourished. However, I try to play the piano once in a while. There are some chords I will. Okay, I think actually gospel music is the best way to learn like chords on the piano. But there are some chords I won't learn unless I'm playing Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. There are some skills I won't pick up unless I'm playing Taylor Swift's, I don't know, Lava. I don't know her songs. Sorry. I don't know her songs. Anyway, so there's some things I would learn, and so now like knowing, but that one in that context I know I'm studying music. A good person to think about is like Phineas and Billie Eilish. Their music is very highly produced. That if you're learning music production, then listening to their songs may not be the greatest as for you as
But
a
the
believer.
skills.
But the
you're
skills
learning
you pick up, listening to that music is what you're there for. So like know the context in which, even the context of which you're listening to music
Is important.
Know the context in which you're listening to
Very true.
music. So if you find music is like a bit John Mozart, see your gospel. So
Okay, okay, yes. So you interrupted me, but it's okay. So that being said, me saying that I don't see why people, for me, I don't really see. I see why people would not listen to Christian music, but all I'm saying is listen to as much Christian music as you can. Don't limit yourself from listening to Christian music because because you think this is not there, this is not there. Everything is there. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, if you expose yourself enough, then you'll be able, if you expose yourself enough, then maybe you'll be like, whether I don't think secular music is for me anymore. You know, even if you will listen to secular music, then I think for me, if you can say like Christian music is, you know, you're being influenced more by Christian music than secular music, then for me, then yeah, I think you're good, you know. But my thought is just, there's no excuse for people to say, I don't know, I can't find any excuse for people to tell me this is why I don't listen to Christian music.
Unless maybe you just don't like it.
Yeah.
As a Christian.
But what are your reasons for not liking it? That's my, I'm not saying, what I'm trying to say is, don't listen to secular music. I'm saying, even if you listen to that secular music, listen to Christian music.
Compliment.
You know, compliment the things that you're listening to. Because Christian music has a lot of things that could potentially speak into your life. You know, whether it's just like casually or whatever. You see, like now Andy Minyo's album, it shows the realness in godly relationships. You know, about like him having arguments with his wife. There's another song by Social Clan Misfits. It talks about, there's a line that says, he told his pastor friend that about his problems, and his friend said, chill, you'll be just fine. And he was just like, where are these leaders going to bleed? You know, so there's a lot of things that you can find in Christian music that is helpful. That being said, I don't, as Karen said, now I was coming to that, as Karen said, know the purpose in why you're listening to Christian music, because I didn't say I exclusively listen to Christian music. I said I try to. There are moments, I like music a lot, and I like finding a lot of new things in music production, music. I'm not a producer or anything, but I just like listening to new musical theory things, yeah? And I listen to songs of all manners that have, like, Favorite Crime by Olivia Rodrigo, such a beautiful song. like in terms of its production. You know, I love how the arrangements are done. I love the guitar. I don't necessarily listen to but even the way the melody is, it's such a beautifully arranged song, and I hope to embody some of those harmonies and arrangements in another song that I'm arranging one day. You know, so so as Karen said, know the purpose why you're listening to certain songs. If like you're listening to that song by Sia to feel bold and encouraged, great. You're listening to a song so that you can be empowered, you know. But don't let unbiblical things consume you. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't let unbiblical teachings in your music consume you. That is my overall thing. And but I don't think all secular music is bad. Like Happy Birthday is a secular song. See, we sing it. See, we sing it. Yeah.
Happy Birthday is such a confusing song to me because it's supposed to be for such a happy occasion.
But it's so
sad. It's such a sad song.
He made us notice it.
Man.
So, I said before, I've come a long way. I don't think listening to secular music is entirely bad. I think if you're listening to songs that are straight up objectifying women, or like
that's
straight
now
up
wrong. That's why I agree, to be honest.
or like straight up, you know, straight up objectifying men, straight up like glorifying the devil, straight up denouncing Jesus. That's why I'm like,
Girl.
Like, let me
Yeah.
give an example. Like when, what is it called?
are you talking about the Grammys?
No.
Oh, I was going to tell you don't talk about
Montero.
that.
When he said, "Call me,
Mm.
call me when you want, call me when you need," that song.
Like he's openly giving. the
Yo,
devil.
like literally, even when you hear that song, you
that's
feel
But
it
so
in
many
your bones.
do that.
Yeah,
Even Sam Smith,
Sam
Demi
Smith,
Lovato.
After Sam Smith did it, I was just
Unholy.
like, homie.
You didn't see his performance in the
Unholy.
Grammys.
But I mean, okay, honestly,
Yeah,
when I
no.
think these people, is that even like Lil Nas X?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's like,
Hey, Lil Nas
he's-
did go as far as Sam
Wait,
Smith.
wait. All of these people are doing my things. You know, you meet like you watch like the interactions with like other celebrities. You're like, kumbe you're normal. Kumbe sio shetani yako ndani yako.
No, it's not. Where nobody is saying, okay, probably some very high-string Christians believe they are possessed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they are very openly mocking the God you love. That's the thing, you know? And it's one of those things where I guess it's just signs of end times, eh? Because it's one of those things where you couldn't do the same thing for anybody else. You couldn't. God, I remember the time Selena Gomez was standing on books. They weren't even like, it wasn't even holy books. They were just books. But you know, in the Quran, it's such a sin to disrespect books because that's inadvertently disrespecting knowledge. You know, she had to take that picture down. Like the Muslims in her comments were like, this is disrespecting my religion. You couldn't do the same thing for Christianity, you know? So that's why when people do these things, like a lot of people love Sam Smith, regardless of religion. A lot of people love Sam Smith. But when he does something like that, nobody's coming to it from the point of, oh yeah, they're possessed. Oh yeah, if you listen to their music, you're going to get possessed. People are coming from the point of, you openly mock the God I serve and the God I love. Can I still listen to your music knowing that this is the opinion you have on my God?
Knowing that you have zero respect.
Yeah, knowing you have zero. And you know they don't have to. They openly go out of their way to do such things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
true. But like they've also been really hurt by these people. So I guess that's it. In my head, I'm just like, when I see it, I'm just like, you're hurt. It's okay.
Okay, it's not okay, but they were hurt. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's all the time we have. I had one more question, but
What
it's
was
not
your
as
other
banning. It's about cancel culture. Like me, you can leave your comments down below if you want. Yeah, I think we can end with this verse, 1 Corinthians 10:23. It says, "I have the right to do anything you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive." That's what NIV says. But the verse that I like to quote, the version that I like to quote says, "Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial." That's how I like to quote it. So I think everything is permissible, so you can do what you want, but see the benefit in what you're doing. That's why when Karen was saying, like, see the purpose in what you're doing, try to find the purpose in everything. I know not everything is purposeful, and I understand that, but, sometimes, you could be unconsciously influenced by things. Like all these advertisements and billboards you're seeing, they're quietly influencing you psychologically. So, yeah, that's it. But to each once again, to each their own. Please do not come for us. Not come for me.
And don't let this. Okay, let me speak for myself. Let this not be you hearing me saying I only listen to Christian music. That would be hypocritical.
Yeah,
of
none
me
of us here listen
to the
Christian
moon
music.
and back.
Only. You said to Christian music.
Yeah, none of us listen to Christian music. Oh, yeah,
only.
only, please. My music recommendations are coming up soon. Or I think they've come up. Yeah, I think they've already come up by the time this episode comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so please, when I give you music recommendations, please look at them. I try my best. Anyway, so I think that's it from us.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Oh my gosh, that's not it from us. Please follow us on Instagram at P3T Podcast, and Coca-Cola send us an email at p3tpodcastke@gmail.com. You can leave us a DM, and you can like our posts. You can view our stories. You liking our stories is inatupea motisha sana. Inatupea. Yeah. Okay. That's the toilet. Sorry. Yeah. So you looking at our stories is honestly very uplifting and liking them. So please continue. And we will see you guys now for the final time next time. Bye.